Good afternoon, Necedah School Community. This is Tanya Kitlowski, the Superintendent for Necedah Area School District, and I am live today with just a special message for our school community. So I'm just waiting for 1 minute here. I just want to make sure everything is going through and the live cast is going out. And so if you just hang with me just a moment, I will begin my message once I'm certain that things are broadcasting appropriately. All right, so I saw someone come on, so that means things are going out. So welcome again to everyone, and thank you for joining me today with this unannounced Facebook Live session. As we conclude a couple months of communication and information sharing regarding the operational referendum of our school community and for our district, I just am so proud of the support our community has shown to really help decide the future of our children, our school, and our community. So I have sort of delayed this announcement, and thank you, because certainly this is a very emotional time for me, because the hard decisions weren't necessarily about having to make difficult choices in how we might reduce the programs and services we offer in our district, but it was really about knowing that when we make that final decision, that ultimately it's impacting in a negative way the education we're offering our children. So our community's vote this past Tuesday has been a heartwarming thing for me to watch and experience with the referendum passing. Our votes, the final tally of our votes, 58% of our voters said yes, and it passed 651 votes to 466. So that helps provide context in terms of the passage of that referendum question. This typically is a very difficult time in communities when you're looking at an operational referendum, and I think Necedah certainly is no different than any community in terms of that. So I certainly also understand that we had others who may not have supported our referendum, and I highly respect those people. We are all in this together, and certainly the vote is what it is, but in the end it's all about our children and supporting them and our entire school community. So around the state there were 66 referenda questions this past April 3rd, and so to give you some context, 82% of those questions passed. So again, you know, we passed 58% of our vote, and around the state about 82% of those questions passed. So again, it just provides some context. As I think communities are experiencing with that high passage rate, communities are experiencing that across districts, and for the reasons that I think they're coming to understand that we still have a broken funding formula. And it is not around the fiscal management of a district that might be a deficit. It is really around a formula that's been broken for quite some time now and needs to be fixed if we're going to adequately support our public schools in Wisconsin. And so I think communities just like ours have decided they're going to step up, and in the meantime of really having a formula that better meets the needs of our local school districts, they are going to step up and support our children. So it is with a heartfelt gratitude and thank you to everybody who went out and voted. Regardless, I thank you for exercising that right. The other thing I want to make sure there's a commitment around is really our district's focus and commitment around continuous improvement. Regardless of whether or not that question passed, we are committed to improving what we're doing for our children every single day. And that is a commitment that myself and our entire team, all of our staff has made together. And so we now aren't going to construct those efforts around deficits, which would have been the reductions we made in order to balance our budget. We're going to focus them on what we're currently doing and how we look at what we're currently doing to better and more efficiently meet the needs of our children. And that commitment's going to come through strong as we finalize the adoption of a vision for our district and begin the planning process for next year and beyond that really supports us visioning how to better meet the needs of all of our children. So that improvement is a commitment regardless. It's at this point that I'm very excited to move forward in looking at what we're doing and not basing it off a deficit model, but really basing it off our current model and how we reconstruct things to really meet the needs of every single child. With that, I wanted to also express a couple commitments that are very important to me, and one is that I want to continue to engage our entire school community and what we're doing for children. If you excuse me for 1 minute. I apologize, everyone. I really just needed to get my radio shut off there. I know it's interfering with things, and that might be hard for people to hear with that going off. So I just wanted to make sure our community knows my commitment to community outreach is really important to me in engaging people in our school community. I believe our school community is the most healthy and strong and prosperous when we all work together. So those efforts will continue, and we'll even continue to grow. So I'm looking forward to that, and that is certainly a commitment on my part and the part of our team. I also want to make sure again that we're committing to continuous growth, and no matter what fiscal state of the district we're in, we're going to continue to do things better for our children. They deserve our very best, and they deserve that effort out of every single one of us. And lastly, I not only want to bring value to our children, but I want to bring value to every member of the school community if you choose to engage with us. So us continuing to offer community outreach events and things that help bring our community to our school to be a part of the lives of our children and what we're doing here is really important to me, and I think to our entire school community. So I hope to continue to bring increased value to every member of our school community, and certainly that's a gesture of support through the community's decision to invest in us, but it also is, I believe, what we should be about as a school district and as a school community, and that's that mutual support of one another when times are good and when times are bad. So on behalf of the Board of Education in the Necedah Area School District, on behalf of our staff, on behalf of our families, and most importantly on behalf of the children we serve in the school community through Necedah Area School District, I thank you. I thank you for your support and for your trust in me that we're going to do great things for our kids, and the investment you make, I promise you I will work as hard as I can to ensure that you see the results of that investment. With that, I value you all. Thank you so much, and thanks for joining me today, and thank you on behalf of our children. Have a great day, everyone.